Interesting how comfortably be now that the crowd will be, and how much that will play a part on the final as well.
Brilliant to see, though.
Yeah, makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Absolutely right, yeah. And well done to those for pursuing and getting fans into the Crucible Theatre. Here we go, frame 2.
Yeah, I'd imagine that was a pretty hot ticket for getting in the Crucible for one of these 4 sessions. And regardless on your views on that subject, let's hope it paves the way for more normality, more live events in theatres and venues around the world. Two-cushion escape, flicking off. Nicely judged. It's become a bog-standard shot, and the players play it so well, don't they, Dennis? I mean, when back in a certain time, it was a novelty.
Yeah, the first player that I ever seen play this back in the 70s was Cliff Thorburn, introduced that two-cushion escape shot. As you say, Steve, they're so good at it these days.
That shot actually was instrumental in changing the misinterpretation. That shot was utilised by players back at that period of time as a way of, if you missed it, you got away with it. And it was one of the big shots that the players were complaining about. As a result of that, the miss rule was, or the interpretation by the referees of the miss rule was changed.
I'm just thinking, Steve, what's happened to the fella that was pressing the button for the crowd noise? Where's he gone today? Because the crowd are really getting involved straight away in this final, and we're only in the second frame.
Not absolutely sure, but I believe it was the assistant referee who was pressing the button as well as checking the scores and marking, so he can concentrate on putting the scores up.
There he is, Brendan Moore, good old Sheffield boy. He has refereed a world final. One of the best in the business, and he's on the scoring this afternoon. And as I mentioned, Marcel Egghardt doing his first ever final. Another excellent referee.
Yeah, all the referees, all the officials, all the backstage staff at World Snooker have done such a fantastic job to get these tournaments going. Big shot if Karen's taking this on.
You can always tell the way Karen sets himself up that he's taking on a shot. We're a long way off. I think he was playing it in such a way he didn't think he was leaving anything but the red near the black spots available.
Yeah, he checked, but he's left Ronnie a red. I mean, if he'd have potted it, the cue ball would have been a lot closer to the cushion, so would have been a lot harder for Ronnie. But you can, as you can see, he can dig down on this and get out for the pink. It's not easy.
One.
If you can see enough of the pink, he's okay. He can go up for the red up the other end of the table, as we show you, just catching the red.
God, the last little roll of that red, just... Sorry, Dennis, the last little roll of that red made the shot a lot harder. Just about could catch it
7.
thick enough.
Yeah, it was a big help that the red was up the other end of the table there. Well, it was a help. If he had knocked it in.
Sullivan 7.
Well, he took that for granted. That's a bit on the casual side. It's hard to say that with Ronnie plays so quickly anyway, but it just felt like he'd already potted it in his own mind.
He's been pulling a few faces over the last couple of days, has Ronnie.
One.
I think he's finished a little awkward on the yellow. He's got wonderful cue power, has Kyron. He might need it here. You can see how low he's striking the cue ball there. And just effortless how he screwed that up the table.
3.
He had the gap to screw up past the brown.
Four.
Important, as the boys said in the studio, for Kyron to get off to a decent start here.
If somehow he could pot this red, maybe free the black and stay on the pink, he'd be delighted. A lot of things could go wrong with this shot though.
Eleven.
Well, he couldn't have played it any better.
Well, you could play that another 50 times and not get as good an outcome as that. That was amazing how he got on the black.
But as you said, he had every chance of staying on the pink, so he took your advice and decided to develop the black, and it worked out a treat.
Nineteen.
Yeah, that one slice of fortune has turned this into a frame-winning chance. Not an easy one, of course.
$27.
Perfect angle to screw over behind a couple of reds. It's available while he's running around the table. So he's playing for the one there into the right corner, but there's a couple of reds to the right of the pink will be available also. Well, he took another risk there.
33.
Took a risk of developing that red, and it's gone wrong. I think he might have been better maybe just leaving that.
Well, in trying to knock that red out, he had to put a little bit of topspin on. And that topspin took it behind the reds. If he'd have played the stun shot, no problem. Admittedly, the reds were in a weird position, those 5 together, but I'm sure he could have manufactured some positional shots.
Green.
End of break. And he hasn't punished Ronnie O'Sullivan for that loose red.
Karen Watson, 33.
That red that's over the pockets, a problem for Ronnie. How's he going to keep that safe? Yeah, he's going to try and come off 2 cushions and kick it from behind. Well, that's about as well as he could have expected to come out of that situation, but he couldn't leave that red there. Kyron's had a couple of wins against Ronnie. Like the last meeting was in the Welsh Open semi-final and he won on the deciding frame, 6-5. It's 4-2 to Ronnie at the moment, but he's not frightened of any player, Kyron. Oh, well, not only the fluke, but look at the flick on the blue. Oh, what a slice of good fortune that was.
Just concerned with trying to get that cue ball back down the table. Oh, that's 2 shots where he feels as if his arms betrayed him a bit there. Obviously felt like he didn't deliver the cue in a straight line. Just the tails of the waistcoat tucked in. It's a nasty shot into the middle pocket. I mean, if he surely he can put the extension on his cue, and this is hard.
Is it going to reach? Is it going to reach? Can you believe it? When you're striking down on the ball like that, you've got to just give it a little bit more pace. But how it stopped there, it's half in the pocket.
Ronnie's got the luxury with that red over the middle pocket in trying to be pretty adventurous with his positional shots now. Trying to knock reds out. You won't see him taking that red over the centre unless he has to. If that red is so far into the pocket, he may even
8.
be able to use that red along the cushion to knock it in.
9.
Do you think if he caught the side of it, with that red just up the cushion, it could cut it in?
Well, it's so close to the pocket. Any contact on that red would send it in, but
16.
it'd be fascinating to see how he goes about this, because he's only got 2 easy reds and then the other 3 are quite difficult.
He needs to try and knock the 2 reds out on the top cushion whilst that red's over the middle. That's what he's
17.
played. What's the angle like? Doesn't look bad.
Can you just put it down, please? Please, just put it down. Thank you.
Not sure what it was. Can you just put it down? So I'm not sure what one of the spectators was holding. Meanwhile, have a look where the white's finished.
No.
24.
Just couldn't. It's a bit too wide an angle on that black, up and down. We saw this shot yesterday, didn't we?
25.
Yeah, it was the opposite side of the table, Anthony McGill and Kyron. It was just breathtaking what was happening when the red was over that opposite middle pocket.
But being forced to play that red has made the clearance a lot harder.
31. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 31.
Ronnie not quite as good as John Higgins at doubles. I've never seen anybody better than John Higgins taking on those particular types of shot. No attempt at the pot there. That was a safety shot, and I think he may. And I'm not sure if he's got away with it. Can he get to the potting angle? Might have to swerve it around the brown. Oh, it wasn't quite the angle. And a chance now, if he can drop this in the middle pocket, get on the blue, he can bring the 2 difficult reds out. This will be a good chance. Ronnie knows it.
One.
Got the perfect angle. If he can just judge it and get hit in between the reds, he'd bring them both into play. Just didn't get the judgment correct.
6.
Oh, this is turning into a frame that could be pretty hurtful for the player that loses it.
Karen Wilson, 6.
He's not got the cue ball anywhere near the baulk cushion, and here's the chance that Karen Wilson has been waiting for. He's had a few chances. still that green on the side cushion is problematic, should he get that far.
One.
He was absolutely dead straight and couldn't do a great deal with the cue ball, as you can see from that angle. So this is a pressure pink that he's faced with. No, wasn't easy.
Karen Wilson. 1.
That's something we haven't heard for a couple of weeks. Come on, Ronnie.
Early times in this match, but every frame is effectively just as important as every other.
1.
I think if Karen loses this, it would be worse for his mental state out there than it would be if Ronnie lost.
I think he was trying to leave an angle on the blue to pot it and bring the difficult green into play. Don't know if he can do it now. He couldn't.
Six.
This is where his left hand could come in very useful as we show you that positional shot, but this is tough. It wobbled a few times, but that's where being able to change hands is so useful. Still needs a good brown though. No. Where's the cue ball going to finish?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 11.
It was just a matter of potting the brownie. It'd have been 19 in front.
Tense moments, Dennis, already in this second frame. Karen Wilson would dearly love to get a nice position on the blue. It's not certain.
Four.
He'll have to settle for that. The long blue into the same pocket.
Nine.
Well, as we say, you never settle down until you win your first frame. You still got to negotiate that tricky black along the cushion.
Well, he was dead straight on the pink, which means he's further away from the black than he'd like. You'd expect him to get it, but the tensions and the pressure's there.
That's a great pressure. Ronnie O'Sullivan had a few chances in that frame, and Kyron's parents will be delighted, as will Kyron. He gets his first frame on the board, needed a couple of chances, but it's 1-all.
Indeed, and that will certainly settle Kyron down, Stephen.
Yep, definitely. You needed a frame sharpish in this final. One of my predictions is going down. Ronnie to come out and play unbelievable. That's gone by the wayside now, because that was an awful frame, really, and a frame that Kyron had to win, having so many chances to win it. As I say, he needs to get this lead today, but Ronnie's there for the taking. But if he doesn't get that lead today, I don't think Kyron can win. So, he's really got to sense that Ronnie's irritated. Whenever he misses a bad shot, Ronnie go back, he's looking at his L, he's checking his cue action. Kyron's really got a sense that there's, he can do this today.
Yeah.
So Kyron's had chances, but also Ronnie had that chance as well. Then.
Yeah, he missed that brown. He'd be disappointed with. But as Stephen said, he is there for the taking. There's no doubt about that. But you have to understand from Kyron Wilson's point of view it's his first final. He's going to be a little bit nervous. He needed a frame like that where he's he's missed a few chances there, but he needed to be gifted a really good chance there, and he took them well, that brown, blue, pink and black, to be honest. Even the black, it may look easy, but when you're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in a world final, those blacks aren't easy, but he took it really well, and that might settle him.